What is going on, people? Once again, it's your hustling godfather. Your hustling godfather. The big brother, the dad, the uncle you never had. What we're going to talk about is how to be successful. I was looking over some of the comments in that last channel, that last stream got people all up in their feelings. Black politics. I still got people coming after me. I got folks who are coming after me. I got folks who are losing it. I got people who are just, one dude is going to make a rebuttal video on his pathetic channel. And he's going to cue me in so we can have a discussion about my viewpoints, which have been formed over many, many decades. And one of the things we're going to talk about is it's not assimilation, it's adapting success attributes. This is one of the biggest problems that we have in America. This is one of the biggest problems that we have in Black America. So let's just jump down to it. Someone who was Kevin Davis, a bunch of keys. I mean, folks are going off because I was listening to Vlad television, and this actress, Jar White, had an opportunity to be up for the Power Rangers franchise, and she didn't do it because it was corny. Her blackness stopped her from taking on a role that would have put millions of dollars in her pockets because she thought it was corny. It would have put millions of dollars in her pocket, but because of her blackness, she couldn't see that. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and find that. Vlad TV Jar White. Actually, I'll have to look at it again. But essentially, this is the problem. Adopting successful attributes is looked upon as a white thing. Doing things that will make you successful is looking at acting, talking, and being white. It is one of the craziest things that comes to man when you sit down and ponder it, when you look at it, when you understand it, when you take it, when you absorb it. We Black folks who are here in America today are Americans. I never made the move to African American because I'm not from Africa. My folks were born in Alabama. We're born in Alabama. I'm an American. I'm a Black American. I'm not an African. So one of the biggest issues with having these conversations is people getting their feelings. One of the biggest issues with having this conversation is that Black folks view and hold holy Black acts. Like, go to Vlad television. She was Ice Cube's girlfriend in Boys in the Hood, that chick. She turned down the Power Rangers role because she thought it was corny because she couldn't see the larger picture. It was the craziest thing. I was like, Power Rangers? You turn that down? You turn that down? One of the biggest issues with this is you have so many black folks in their feelings, so many black folks who are all caught up in, hey, what's up, Edward Anderson? Well, one of the things is black people are special, and when they perform at high levels, we can literally take over the world. But instead of getting it like when an NFL quarterback like Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, and they play the role of quarterback, we don't call that assimilation because that's cool. Black folks want to get money in a cool way. This is the problem. I have a friend who owns a car wash who's a multimillionaire. And you got folks in here talking about, I don't want to do no car wash. The money is green. The money is green. He parlayed that car wash to 1.8 million a year, took that cash, bought rental property. He has like 50 houses that are paid off. He's got rental income. He still has the car wash. More money, more money, more money. But you got folks in here who are all up in their feelings, like, just go back and check the comments. I'm going to do this. And also from a historical standpoint, the riots in the Caribbean, in Brazil, in Haiti were much more violent than the riots in America. This is historical fact. The people in the islands freed themselves. They didn't have to wait for Emancipation Proclamation. They took up a machete and they started slitting throats. They went to war. And we got a whole bunch of passive, feminine men, masculine women who are confused on what their roles are. Like when I come on here in the YouTubes and I talk about stuff, I come from a position of experience. I don't talk about, someone asked me something I don't know anything about. I will tell you, I don't know anything about that. I don't understand that. I don't know anything about that. That's outside my wheelhouse. That is not part of my purview. I will honestly say I don't know about that. But what I know, I know. Nah, Glenn, it's sex and money only. If it ain't sexy, stay broke. Pretty much. Stan the man, you're right on that. Programming isn't cool, so a lot of black folks think it's nerdy and wonder why we're behind. Pretty much. Some of the richest folks have parking lots. Parking lots are some of the best real estate. Low maintenance to no maintenance. And you get residual income month after month, year after year, decade after decade. Terry Henry, that's cool. That's good to hear. No, man, my blood pressure is at an all-time low thanks to my doctor's protocols. I checked my blood pressure. It was 110/55 today. Hernandez, there's a lot of hustle money in the food truck game, and that's getting more and more liberal legally, but folks are sleeping on it because black folks, they want to start a barber shop or a Jamaican restaurant. They want to do stuff that's cool. Or to borrow your thing, Edward Anderson, it got to be sexy. It's got to be sexy. Erica Williams getting the parking lot this year. These are facts. Black Caesar. Most of the rich folks around these parts own strip malls. So one of the things that you got to understand, it ain't assimilation. It's the adaptation of success attributes. And this is a fierce point in the Black community. I don't want to be seen as white. I don't want to act as white. I'm not dating no white chicks because my Black sisters, people you don't even know, you're concerned with their opinion. People you don't even know. Well, you know, I might be out in public with Becky and I may come across some sisters and they may start hating. Fuck them. Let them hate. If Becky makes you happy, if Sun 2 makes you happy, if LaQuisha makes you happy, go with it. Go with it. Yusuf, if it can make money while I'm asleep, it's super sexy. It's beyond super sexy. Kevin Davis, there's literally money everywhere. People are too prideful to get it. My dad won't even work overtime and he's broken upside down. Kevin, this is a whole bunch of people. This is a whole bunch of people who are broke and will take the weekends off. Well, it's the weekend. I need to be off, even though I ain't done shit all week. They could be broke and they want to talk about taking the weekend off. And the one comment that got me just, you know, for us to be successful, we must assimilate. It ain't assimilation. You are an American. It is your American birthright to adapt success attributes and be successful in America. That's hood ghetto thinking. Well, I'm not going to adopt these success attributes because it ain't cool. It ain't sexy. It ain't Black. I'm going to keep it Black. As y'all saw last night in the comment section, some people, complex Blackness, some other bullshit. This is one of the things, and I've noticed this with the sugar babies, that Black folks are focusing so much on being Black and ignoring things that will make them successful. I mean, it's crazy. What's up, AM1? Boring businesses pay money? Absolutely. Easy. When women become educated and have their own money, the less women need a man. As a result, a lot of women are taking care of their kids and taking care of their parents. Easy. That ain't true, because I had not one, not two, but 3 trust fund babies who were worth millions of dollars who were my girlfriends. If she got a vagina, she gonna need a man. She gonna want and desire a man. Now, if she's a masculine woman on that, I don't need a man tip. I can do it all by myself because I am woman. Hear me roar. Roar importance. Look, I listen to country music and Black dudes do was like, what the hell, I had to let him go. Some country music is cool. Charlie Pride caught hell for years because he was a Black country singer. Eric Williams, I listen to country. I listen to classical. I listen to Baroque music. E.g., I have 2 food trucks. My family's been doing California fairs for 35 years. That's generational wealth. Teach them how to make money generation after generation. That's really cool, EJI. Each sense, Erica Williams. Sadly, a lot of unprogressive Black people want to have diversity in everything but taste and mindset. Woo! Woo. Gee, dudes, a lot LO at me for buying older houses. They say that money was slow. James saying, man, because you ain't in the streets. You ain't flipping drugs. You ain't doing that sexy, fast money. Edward Anderson, another good hustler, is doing basic car fixes like Jiffy Lube stuff and other places and get a lot of money. There's a lot of things out there. Edward Anderson, when I had my store in Brockett Plaza off Lawrenceville Highway, there was a guy next to me. His name was Russell. He had a Honda repair shop. He only worked on Hondas. That's all he did. $500,000 a year. He had 3 employees. $500,000 service business. So you're right about that. What's up, people? Shannon Lee, I don't ignore successful things, but I love my culture. What is Black culture? Name the top tenets of Black culture. Charlie Brown was a top-selling country artist. Yes, he was. And some Black people think being ratchet is Black culture. Black culture is divided. Here's my thing. The Black culture that I appreciate and love is the Black culture of the 60s, when men married women and had children, when men dressed appropriately, when people had personal pride and dignity and were working hard. And these folks were facing some of the harshest racism in history. And they were prideful, they were respectful, they were dutiful. That's the Black culture that I love and miss. This shit we have today, I don't call that Black culture. I call that a cancer. Shannon Lee, be specific. Because see, this is one of the things I hate about you hoteps. When I ask you specific questions, I say, give me 10 tenets of not our history, not some general bullshit, but 10 tenets of our history. Can you do that? Lionel Richie got paid off country music. Absolutely. There's no one definitive definition. Absolutely. Because see, Black culture, as I understand it and know it, is my grandmother who had a college degree. It's my uncles who took a picture of them sitting on a drop top convertible in the 40s, dressed in suits. That's the Black culture that I miss. I don't like this Cam Newton with his hair looking like he stuck his hand in an electric socket. In the 60s, people had afros that were well groomed and beautiful. Ain't just wake up looking like trash. Steve Jameson's today's Black culture has turned into pop culture. Yusuf, you have to understand how money works before you can start generating income. Bill of Master 66. I agree 100%. Most hosteps are pseudo intellectuals that only care about talking. Unfortunately, most of them don't even do that well. This is facts. Shannon Lee, Black is beautiful. And I'm going back to the 60s and the 70s because I was a part of that culture when mamas dressed their little boys up in suits and sent them to church. But the state we have today is trash. We have a music that denigrates us. Let's take the N-word, which I personally don't think white people should be using it, and I don't think Black people be using it. And as many of you who've been around for years know, I have a problem with the word, and if you use it, I'm going to ban you and delete you. And Michael Jai White, the Kung Fu dude, he was talking about, he doesn't like the word and he doesn't use it either. And he said, Black people are the only people that have these terms that are subhuman. Each sense. It's funny how much of the Black culture is propagated by those in the entertainment industry who are not Black. Hey. Black Caesar, country music's cool. Have any of you ever listened to this asshole named David Allen Cole in his Racist X playlist? He has a song that explains his girlfriend ran off for a black man for the BBC. That's a true story that has happened quite a bit. My great-grandfather owned 2 pool rooms and a bar and drove big Cadillacs. Looking at his old pictures back, men were proud businessmen in Detroit, Black Bottom, 89 Dr. Funk. Three Kings. Well, it's the same thing. It's degradation. Because, to the point of this live stream, it's not assimilation. You, as a black person who are born in the United States, are an American citizen, and you are using the law and the rules of the land to be successful. It ain't no assimilation, because assimilation means that you came out and was something completely different. You are covering yourself in white supremacy if you believe that adapting traits that will make you successful are assimilation. Each sense, that's true. Honey Bunny, that's true. I know, Easy. I know. Yusuf, I talk with progressive black folks. I do not talk to people who embrace hood and hip hop culture. You're just wasting your time. There are like 20 black country music artists right now. Lou Ansa and Southern black men listen to country music. Hootie and the Blowfish. Hootie caught so much crap because he was singing music and making millions of dollars. Well, Hootie, he ain't black. He's singing on white folk stuff. Gary here, I feel you on the 60s and 70s, my dude. I was born in 67, raised by my grandmother, and remember her dressing men in 3-piece suits growing up. It was a different culture back then. Stan the Man, this is happening as we speak, because that stream I did last night, I got folks who are going to do response videos to tell me how wrong I am when they have not participated in the American dream and been successful. I compete against white folks. I love competing against white folks, and I love beating white folks. They're afraid to compete against white folks, like runaway slaves. Ooh. You can't start no business, man. You can't start no business, man, because the boss man get mad. You start the business, you just a need. Black Scorpion. My grandfather lived to be 101. He had his own business, worked into his early 90s. He told me before you died, if you don't want shit, you won't have shit. I addressed that point on Disruptive Male Stream today, talking about your dream girl profile. You must know what you want before you get it. You must know. Shannon Lee, you're an American. You ain't. See, this is the thing. Like, if you're black and born in America, what is your culture? It's American culture. That's your birthright. And we have people denying it because it ain't sexy. It ain't cool. It ain't what I want it to be. Yet we have people coming from Africa breaking their necks to get over here to get a piece of this assimilation. Breaking their necks to get over here because they know what's up. Well, Shannon Lee, you once again, I've asked you 3 times, what is black culture? And you've not to put in a concise and articulate answer. That's telling. See, this is the problem with black culture. And this is the problem with black politics. It's on this elastic sliding scale. Whatever I deem it to be, that's it. And then you go over to this other black person. Well, I don't agree. So there's no consensus on what black culture is. loyal, determined. It is easy to talk. It is hard to do. Honey bunny people are more scared of success than they are failure. That's why they never try. All right, Shannon Lee. Once again, this is the fourth time I asked you what Black culture is. Give me a clear, concise answer in the comments. '89 Dr. Funk. I mean, this is the culture of real men. See, how many of you know about the deacons of defense? These were Black men who armed themselves and were shooting the Klan. Those brothers were fierce. They were warriors. They was like, I'm pew, 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. Brothers wasn't playing. They picked up rifles and shot white people who were messing with Black folks. How many of you know about that? Because see, you hear all about Black Wall Street, but you don't hear about the deacons of defense who actually picked up arms and did something about the racism. They actually did something. Shannon Lee, this is my fucking stream. You answer my questions. I don't bow down to you, you little bitch ass. You're dismissed. You act like we're equals. We're not equals. I'm an educator. You're just a student. We're not equals. Don't talk to me like that, like we're equals. This is another problem. There are people who have better opinions than you because they have experience. We all equal. No, we ain't. Folks want traditional wise girlfriends, but won't go out and make traditional money. Woo! It's getting hot in here. I talked about that. If you want to see a woman be submissive, take care of that woman, provide for that woman, make that woman feel loved and protected, and she will bow down to you. But a lot of dudes don't want to do that. Leah Faith, what's the difference between assimilation and adapting? It ain't assimilation. Assimilation means that you actually become something completely different. Terry Henry, the Deacons for Defense is where the Black Panthers got the ideal of using the panther for their symbol. For the love of beauty, exactly, cannot afford tradition. Eat sense, that's true. No, cultural assimilation is the process by which a person or a group language or culture comes to resemble those of another group. As an American citizen, if you adopt success attributes, that's not assimilation. You're using the laws of the land for your economic benefit. But once again, going back to yesterday's stream, Black politics, with the Black politics, Blackness fucks up a lot of people's money because they're trying to keep it Black. You should be trying to get money before you try to keep it back. Openness is excellence. I heard the saying, I debate those my equal for everyone I teach. Levi Reed, Black people quit begging for white people's approval. I agree with that. I never beg for approval. I don't give a damn if you like me or not, but you're going to respect me. That's what that currency that I operate in. Because see, once again, because that comment just really got me hot and bothered. You got to assimilate to be successful. It ain't assimilation. You were born in the United States. You are an American citizen. American culture is your culture. But people, like, once again, want to keep it hip hop, keep it ghetto, keep it skilo, keep it stupid. Like, once again, Like you'll hear people like black culture is entertainment. You know, a big fight about we created music, which we did. Elvis stole from James Brown. These are facts. So we created it, but we don't have the economic sensibilities to own it. Leah of Faith, lots of black people are ignorant about how money works, so they attribute assimilation to climbing the ladder. All right, Ganja. It's actually Chuck Berry. Okay. Levi Reed, white only respect violence. That's why they worship their guns. That's not true. They respect economic might. Let's go back to the 60s and 70s. Asian people were not cool. White people called them chinks and kooks, and they didn't want to deal with them. Now, what is the hottest chick that a white dude can get? An Asian chick. Asians got their economics together. Asians participated in the American process. Asians got their income up. Highest business ownership by group. Highest education level by group next to Nigerians. Asian chicks don't date dumb dudes unless they ghetto. And there are some ghetto Asian chicks. Sierra Holla, I agree. Part of the problem is people think speaking properly is assimilations. Loyal, determined. They've chosen not to participate in the economic process. Steve Jameson, I believe that. And this is Eminem is proof positive that more white people than black people buy rap. It was mostly white people supporting Eminem. That's why he grew so quick, made so much money, had so much clout. White people buy a lot of rap. And also, some white girls can dance. See, this is one of the silliest things that black people pick, like the Asian debate. Oh, come on, Glendon. It's facts. You have melatonin, you age better. What is the use of aging better if you're dirt poor? If you're socially, economically disadvantaged? What's the use of aging? Well, I'm broke, but I look good. I look good. I aged. I'm 86, but I look like I'm 40. Oh, out here on these streets because I don't have no money. Black folks look at certain things of utmost importance while ignoring the important shit. Blinding Buddha. The only way to achieve true freedom in this country is to be a self-made man and woman. When you have the economics, life is a lot easier, less racism. No, it's true. I don't experience the day-to-day racism. I don't experience office politics because I have my own business. I don't experience getting passed over promotions because I'm black. I don't experience none of that crap. And I'm 53 years old and I don't experience ageism. I experience none of that stuff because I created my own economic engine. Leah of Faith, I'm going to disagree with you. Black folks, you're an American citizen. Your Uncle Glendon here's to tell you, you're an American citizen. And it is sad, it is unfortunate that we landed on these shores due to slavery, but we're here. And we got to make the best of it. And there ain't no going back. You know, people like my boy I had on the channel who Tawami Spear, who's African. He's like, yeah, man, Africans would scam the shit out of you. This dude built a water plant in Africa and had all kinds of problems with Africans. And it's like, you know, I was with you, man, until you start bashing Africa. Black people think Africa is this mythical, mythological place of wonder and joy and beauty and wealth. As Erica said, if you can't make it here in America with credit, how you gonna make it in the country with no credit, no money? How you gonna make it? Glixen3, when I found your channel 3 years ago, my mindset changed. I read every day, work out every day, and separate from the Black culture. Now I'm becoming successful, and they think I'm whitewashed. This is a common product. Glixen3, thank you for mentioning that and saying that. Because, see, when there are other people in the room, Black folks act like this doesn't happen. No, we don't mock people because they speak a certain way. No, they ain't never had. Start lying, start backsliding, like, ooh, it didn't happen. Since white people buy a lot of stuff, period. How did Michael Jordan and many of these celebrities get wealthy from their product? It was from praise of having their products being sold. White people bought more Air Jordans than anyone, but you will have Black folks mad at Michael Jordan because it's like, well, it was this kid in the ghetto who bought these Air Jordans. So you got 50 million white teenagers, and you've got about 10 million Black teenagers. Which pool is bigger? This is why, from a foundational aspect, I always talk to you guys about numbers, looking at the broader picture, because when people were talking about this stuff, I knew it wasn't true. Black people depend too much on myth, superstition, and assumption. FedEx, Chinese people are quick to cut off their own when they're messing up. You're making the family look bad. We got to get rid of you. Black folks used to be good about that. Oh, you selling drugs? You're disavowed. You're out the family. We ain't gonna mess with you. We ain't gonna talk with you. Now you selling drugs. Hey, can I borrow 20 to Friday? I work for myself. Clients mostly Black. I deal with low to no prejudice. Polly Robinson, I think working in customer service depends upon the company, the product. There are so many variables that go into that. Stan the man, that may be true. Tell them hoteps that racist gets everybody money. They use the economics to enforce their belief. Blind and boobly, I have family who have money and can barely speak English, and the doors open for them here in America. The language here is cash. Absolutely. For the love of beauty, crazy you talking about this. My recently taught a part about the Bible where it instructs us to use the type of wisdom a serpent uses and involve blending in. What's up, God's favor? Memphis Rusty, you funny. Really? Black people need to fully understand that having the status and appearance of getting rich off 2 turntables and a microphone is over. Well, first of all, the onus is on the individual to participate in the American process. And this is something that many Black folks refuse to do. Kevin J. is Glendon. I make 6 figures at my job. I'm the only Black guy. I'm in Arizona. I'm telling you now, I haven't dealt with any of the racism that people speak about. See, if you tell that to some ghetto Black folks, they're going to say you lying because they know your life better than you do, Kevin. It's like, nah, man, you just got lucky. You were chosen. You're the friendly Negro. You're the favorite Negro. Not that you work hard, you gain respect, you got clout. No. And this is one of the big problems that the hotep community cannot see. That hard work pays off. Steve Jameson, true. Tyrone was an ethnic African who still got scammed by the African. He knew for years as a first generation American where the opportunities are, pretty much. And Ty is a millionaire. How did he get rich? Facebook ads, selling a product, participating in the American process. Sean Osby, truth. I lived in Africa. It's not the placenta that black folks think it is. There's plenty of discrimination, infighting, and corruption among blacks. I dated a girl from Cameroon, and I asked her point blank. I was like, how do these white folks come to Africa and just take over? And they know. She said the language. In Cameroon, where I'm from, there's like 200 dialects. And if you don't speak the dialect that I speak, we don't mess with each other. We don't work together. We don't cooperate. They know. See, this is one of the things. This is why I speak from experience. I've talked to Africans. I've been to Africa. I asked the hard questions. And that girl has some good African bootang. Oh my God, her stuff was fire. Woo! Because she actually left Cameroon, immigrated to France, and became an attorney. And she was in America going to Emory Law School. And she was little and fine. Just, Knowing your history only matters if it has intrinsic value to you, without it being a personal value. It won't be enough to motivate action. Good point. The art of becoming more. Africa's not for the weak, and those of us who go back who were raised abroad are usually right for scamming, unfortunately. People who know. Michael Robinson, once again, if you ain't doing nothing sexy. Life for business, hey, it is what it is. Leah of faith, black folks take pride in being willfully ignorant. I agree. All right, Ganja. Oh, Blind and Buddha. I had a cop because I was in the wrong and I was on the shoulder trying to get off and go up to Peachtree Industrial. Cop pulled me over. He checked the vehicle. The vehicle was in a business name and he gave me a warning. See, this is one of the things, and this is one of the biggest problems with black men in the police. Number one, we have many black men who are feminine black men. Number two, they get in their emotions. Number three, they get in their feelings. Like if a cop tells you to put your hands behind your back and you got one hand in handcuff and you doing all that, guess what? You're resisting arrest. And you just gave that cop license to open the can of whoop ass on you because you don't want to comply. Just turn around, put your hands behind your back. Ain't nothing going to happen to you. But once again, how many of you have been stopped by the cops and are still alive? They make it out that every black person that gets stopped by the cops is going to get beat up, abused, and mistreated. And it simply ain't true. Terry Henry, congratulations. Easy, that's very sad. I've dated a Ghanaian and Ethiopian, and they divulged that the average African male despises black Americans and exalt white people. Turf. See, you say that around some hoteps, they're going to say you lying. See, once again, when you participate in life, this is how I know a lot about white women, because I've been with a lot of white women. I have experience. This is how I know about female nature because I've been with a lot of women because I have experience. This is how I know about business because I've had several businesses. I have experience. But I have people who caught up in their feelings, who want to come on and clown in the comments, who are going to someone's job where they're being disrespected and called boy, but they want to stand up and act all ignorant and crazy to me, someone that's trying to set them free. Harriet Tubman say, I would have freed more slaves if they wanted to go. A lot of folks didn't want to leave that. They didn't want to leave the slave master. Black Caesar, they ain't trying to hear you, man. Hey, man, because once again, if you have experience, like I don't know anything about investing in Mexico, but if I spoke Spanish and I knew Mexico, I would be real comfortable with it. They are successful, but to be completely fair, most societies, if you know how to operate and respond accordingly, regardless of your personal feelings about their customs, you can be successful. Absolutely. The Chinese are dominating in Africa right now. They're dominating. Google this. Chinese men getting with these African women and leaving them with children, mixed children, and going back to China. Google that conversation. Opulence is excellence. Typically, thank you, Leah Faith. Polly Robinson, it is. Man, once again, assumption and feelings don't trump experience. They don't trump a person who is doing the right thing. And it ain't assimilation. It's the adaptation of success criminals. Like going back to language. The reason that white people were able to go to Africa and dominate and take over is because if you don't speak this African language, as an African, they're not going to deal with you. Where this is why this is why there's so much on this learn English, speak English. When you have a shared language, a shared communication, you can do things together. You can operate, you cooperate. In Africa, each country is its own tribe with many sub-tribes in each country, and they don't communicate and they don't work together. The art of becoming more. They're marrying African women because they're getting around the law. Several countries will not let them own land, so they marry the women, but the land in her name. When you know the territory, there's always an angle you can work. Like, here's a little history level. Because I used to be a big lesson in history, and I was like, why did white people this is historical fact, white people came after Africans? African humanity started in Africa and white people came after. And I was like, how did these white people get so ahead of everyone else? Horses and vegetables. How many horses are in Africa? Everyone's seen the African thing other than zebras. There are no horses in Africa. So white people got a leg up through language, having horses, and farming techniques that enabled them to prosper and grow. That's how they got ahead. And that language was huge. I mean, one of the things that you guys have got to realize that anyone can be successful in America if you have the correct mindset. And one of the things with black folks is, like Erica made this, like, you listen to country music. You know how many black folks would remove themselves and clown you for listening to country music, you're trying to be white. You're listening to country music. Or to even get more personal, when you're a black person who's a progressive black person and you don't submit to black hood and hip hop culture, what are black people? What's the worst thing about being kicked out the race? They're going to point their fingers, they're going to say jacked up things, and they're going to clown you. That's it. Because black people really have no power, because they don't have no economic power. Sebastian Williams, your children are not going to face the racism that you face. You, as a black man, don't face the racism that your mother and father face. They didn't face the racism that their mother and father have faced. And they didn't face the racism that their great-grandfathers faced. You know what's going to stop racism against black folks? Becoming successful. The Jews have been hated for centuries. They became my doctors. I used to have a Jewish roommate in the military, and we talked about this. We're going to become your doctors. We're going to become an indispensable part of society. So you may hate us, but you're going to need us. The Jews learn the game. The Asians learn the game. Black folks are still resisting the game. You mean racism started when slavery started? You could not go and imprison a man or a woman and child, have them do labor for free if you thought they were equal to you. So you had to demean them. You had to make them seem less than human to do that. That's the first sign of propaganda. And this is why I don't use the N-word. That's propaganda. When you feel less than human, you act less than human. The art of becoming. I asked my father why we moved to the U.S. and not the UK. He had access to both. His answer: the U.S. was easier to succeed. Mindset and strategy planning is vital. I just said that. This is why Africans are busting their butt to get here, because they can participate and win. They can participate and win. They can do things in this country they can't do back home. Because, you know, before slavery, you were an African, you were a Spaniard, you were a European. There was no such thing as this race thing. And race became part and parcel with slavery to dehumanize the black man, so the black man and black family could be imprisoned and used for free labor. They had to dehumanize these people. And that's what you do when you call in your friend my in, you're dehumanizing him. Well, once again, right now, America's more fair than it's ever been before. You could be gay, you could be trans, you could be a white man, you could be a black man, you could be a woman. You could succeed here, baby. It ain't assimilation. It's adapting tactics and principles that work. Jews became an integral part of European society, but didn't stop Hitler. So Jews realized that they needed their own land, hence Israel. Well, the Jews had 2,000 years of abuse to deal with. I mean, they've been through it. And once again, when you look at someone and the first thing you see is race versus a person, you're dehumanizing them. You're not treating them accordingly to universal law. And universal law and esoteric law can make you very successful. Like the thing, and I keep saying this, you know, for women, write your dream guy profile. Sit, take a pen, take paper, and write down the exact type of man or woman you want. And the more specific you get, the more likely they are to show up. You know, this is the adaptations of success principles. Remember last night when I was telling you like business deals I didn't get, and I would go back to the client and say, look, you know, I'm not going to beat you up. What did I do wrong? I want to get better as a salesperson. And I would tell people this, and they would take me to lunch, and they would talk to me, and they would let me know. Because see, right now, people are afraid of people. This is why ghosting is such a big issue of online dating. People are afraid of people. It's like they're afraid to have difficult conversations. They're afraid to talk to people. Well, Erica Williams, I'm gonna say it's not just writing Dream Man and Profile. It's becoming. This is something I address with Disruptive Male, because the first thing is get your economics together. Number 2, get in the gym. Number 3, get your mind together. Number 4, date submissive women. So it's a complete package. But the Dream Girl profile is amazingly, the Dream Man profile is amazingly powerful when you take action and you become the best version of yourself. When you become the best version of yourself, where you compete with yourself and you improve on the daily level, the opportunities of who you can date and interact with will exponentially go up. Like today, you know, I had some neighbors over. They're millionaires. Just a little chit chat, a little wine. Once again, your access points are enabled by your level of personal effectiveness. When you become personally effective, when you go ahead and you do the things that you need to do, your life will change. It ain't assimilation. It's adaptation of time-tested principles that will make you successful. And Black folks as a group are so ignorant. They're like, oh, I ain't going to do that because it make me look like I'm trying to be white. Hey, I'm down for the people. I'm 100% militant. Black power, Black power. And the Black power salute with no money behind it is just a facade. All right, you can stand up and say Black power. Where's your money? You're a king or a queen. Where's your kingdom? Where are your subjects? Where's your land? Where's your title? All of that is just feel-good stuff. For the love of beauty, actually, you know, spending does play a role in it. It does play a role in it. But once again, it is not assimilation. It's the adaptation of time-tested principles that will enable you to become successful. It will enable you to, that king and queen stuff is just a joke. Everybody can't be a king and a queen. You're not a king if you don't have a domain to rule over. You're not a king. You're just telling yourself some garbage to make yourself emotionally feel good because you're a feminine man. Well, I'm a king here in the hood with my 1975 Cadillac, with my TV on bricks. But I'm a king. In my heart, I know I'm a king. In my heart, it's garbage. Paul Brown, that's a good name. All right. So I will catch you guys later. Peace out.